Welcome back to the Nikki Clarke Radio Show on wearehotline.net, and we are very fortunate to have an amazing individual on the line with us right now. He is the Senior Marketing Manager of Family Search International. Please welcome Thom Reed to the show. How you doing, Thom?
I'm doing great, Nikki. Thank you so much for having me on the show today.
Oh, it's a pleasure. And you're back in Salt Lake, Utah right now?
Yes, Salt Lake City. So spent some time with you out there in Toronto and had a great, wonderful time there. We had a great event while we were there, but now I'm back at home.
That's right. We met for the Canadian Black History Summit, and you were leading us in the discussion of the Freedmen's Bureau and all the wonderful information that we learned that day. But just before we talk about that, can you tell us a little bit about your background leading up to what you do right now?
Yeah, absolutely. So my background is interesting enough in marketing. That's where I was trained and did graduate school and things like that. Have worked traditionally in brand and kind of consumer products. But about 2.5 years ago, I had the opportunity to come work for Family Search International, which is the largest nonprofit genealogical organization in the world. We have, more than 5 billion records on our website, FamilySearch.org, and we've been helping families discover and connect generations, since the late 1800s, actually. But I've been working here 2.5 years, mostly on our partnerships, our relationships with other organizations in mostly the genealogy space, some technology, things like that. But actually came to work on this project, specifically the Freedmen's Bureau project, I'd say over a year and a month ago or so, back in March of 2015, is when we at Family Search actually worked with the United States National Archives and Records Administration to secure the records from the Freedmen's Bureau. And in those records, in what we do traditionally in Family Search is make, records available for individuals to search on our website to connect their families. And these records specifically weren't searchable or browsable. We hadn't indexed any names or anything on them. And so I'm leading the charge with actually indexing or transcribing information from these historic records so that individuals can do their family history and trace their family lines even further.
Fantastic. Now, is it only of people of Black ancestry, or is it open to everyone?
It's open to everyone. The Freedmen's Bureau itself was an organization that was established right at the end of the Civil War, was in operation between 1865 and 1872. And the name of the actual organization is called the Bureau of Refugees, Freedmen, and Abandoned Lands. What they did is they helped freed blacks as well as white Southerners and those who were destitute in any way recover kind of after the Civil War, whether it's these individuals needed hospital care, education, they needed, contracts to start working, rations for food and clothing, all those types of things. Blacks and whites were all recipients of the services of the Bureau offices in the 15 states, southern states in the U.S. as well as the District of Columbia. And so within these records are not just records for African Americans, although they're probably the records of nearly 4 million freed slaves in these records, but they're also, whites that can trace their lineage through this time period and find valuable information among this record collection.
Fantastic. What's been the most valuable part of being part of this process for you?
For me personally, the most valuable part is to see people get engaged or get excited about connecting with their own families. Family history is one of the hottest growing hobbies, around the world. You have all these different companies that are popping up and helping people, and that's what we're doing. I think that's what's been so meaningful to me is see these, discoveries that people are making as they look in these records. I got an email just today where a woman was talking about she had run into kind of a brick wall where she didn't have records anymore, kind of stopped in the 1870s. and she was able, through the Freedmen's Bureau records, to actually find information on her, I think, third great-grandfather and their family, and trace, and connect with the slave owner of those individuals, and go back and how she'd been working on this for years, and is now was finally, because of what we're doing to transcribe these records and make them searchable online, was finally able to make that breakthrough, and how meaningful that was to her. When I see that and hear that just, it warms my heart. It makes me realize that this is big. This is, really connecting families and reestablishing those connections that have been lost for years. And just to be a part of it is extremely humbling.
I can imagine. And then that's a wonderful story that you shared. Now, in order for this amazing process to happen, you need resources and you need people.
Yeah.
Are you looking for volunteers, and what kind of ways are you looking for funds to just keep this wonderful movement happen?
Well, we've been fortunate from a funding standpoint that we've been able to procure the records. We've worked with partners around the United States and that have been able to help us, kind of get the project off the ground. But what we really need is laborers, those who are willing to take a look at these records, to transcribe them within our database and help us get them published online. And as of, actually, it's been amazing as I've watched the results over the last several, weeks. We've actually had an amazing amount of response from individuals. I think we're over 18,000 volunteers now that have helped. We've transcribed 1.5 million records, meaning we've discovered 1.5 million names of individuals tied to the images in this record collection, and we've actually gotten about 75% done with what we've scoped out for this project. And so we continually need volunteers because we still got 25% to go. We kicked off this initiative last year, June 19th of 2015, which was Juneteenth, and we want to continue and finish this project by Juneteenth of 2016. And so we definitely want volunteers to come and help us with this project and finish the remaining 25%.
Okay, and where do the bulk of the records come from in the pictures? Where do you find them? Just people just go through their own family archives and then just send them over? Where do you get them?
So the records, we have already collected. Family Search has collected the records that we're using for part of this project. Like I mentioned, they came from the National Archives and Records Administration. And actually, the way you do this project actually is once you volunteer, you use one of our Family Search indexing programs to view these images. And so it requires individuals to download a program on their laptop, or they can go to any of our family history centers. We have, thousands of centers all across North America. They can go to one of our centers and they can actually access that program there, or like I said, they can download the program on their own computer, either a PC or a Mac. And by creating their own free account, then they can actually open up these documents and see, like I said, there have been 1.5 million digital images in this collection. And so you would go in, you'd look at the actual document, let's say it was a labor contract, and we are asking to extract from that document or transcribe the names of the laborers in that, as well as those who own the plantations who hired these individuals. And you just type that information into the predetermined fields, and once you've completed looking at, about 4 or 5 documents, then you submit it to us to be put back into our system and to be uploaded online and made searchable, so people can go to FamilySearch.org to type in the name of the person that you transcribed and actually make that connection.
Fantastic. Now, my family background is West Indian, Jamaican, very specifically, and I was just wondering how I could do my own family search. Are there any ties that I could make to the Freedmen's Bureau, or where can I do my own?
And there may not be specific ties to the Freedmen's Bureau. It just depends on if those individuals, if your ancestors received services from the Bureau during that time period between 1865 and 1872.
My grandmother is American.
Well, so I was about to say, so there you go. She sure enough might be in those records as well, and then they went to Jamaica, things like that. So, but you can even, outside of the Freedmen's Bureau Project, like I said, Family Search provides a wealth of records. I know for a fact specifically that if you go to FamilySearch.org, you can actually search our record collections that include names of individuals in Jamaica, the different record sources that we've been able to obtain.
Wow.
Now, we don't have records from everywhere in the world. We're continually adding to our collection every day. I mean, we, publish like 1 million records or something every day. I mean, it is just unbelievable the amount of information that gets added to our website. And so if anyone ever wants to get started in their own family history, I suggest, one, start with what you know. Go to FamilySearch.org, type in the information of your parents or grandparents, and see what kind of records we are able to pull up, and start to build your own family tree to where you can, add individuals and you have the records to support them to get started on your family history. We've been doing this. Since this project started, we've been doing this. We actually did a pilot program at one of the historically black colleges down in Houston, Texas, Prairie View A&M, and it was just amazing what their students and faculty and staff learned as they started doing their own family history. And several of them were able to make that connection with the Freedmen's Bureau era once they were able to kind of trace their lineage back through the 30s and 40s and 20s and into the 1800s. It's remarkable what records we have and sources we have, just simply by going on FamilySearch.org.
Okay. Now, is it a free search, or is there a membership cost?
No, there's not a membership cost. So Family Search, like I said, we're a nonprofit, and so our services are free. It doesn't cost anything to search our website, to view most of the records that we have. We do have contracts with other organizations where we procure those records, and so in some instances you may have to go to a partner website or an additional website to view those images, but we can help you kind of get there. But our services, like I said, are free, have always been free, and will remain free. And getting involved in the project, if you want to help, again, by uploading these documents to our database, that's free as well. All you need to do is download the program or use the program at one of our family history centers and create your own free account, and you can get started and help with this project. It's fairly simple to do.
Fantastic. That's wonderful to know. And, I was just thinking about the whole trend right now for people to look into their lineage. Why do you think it's become so popular to do family searches? I've found over the last 2 years there's been a lot of interest in this. And why do you think that is?
All I can say is that it just, I don't know, this might sound, but I think a lot of individuals are searching for who they truly are. Mm-hmm. I think we've gotten into this digital age, and we're so life is so different and so fast-paced and so hectic that you get caught up in the things of life and you're not grounded in who you truly are. And the way we get grounded in who we truly are is by learning where we came from. And so I think as technology's advanced and it's become easier for individuals to trace their lineage, they've jumped to it because inherently they want to know where we came from, and what struggles did my ancestors have that equal some of the struggles that I go through today. And they want to make that connection to give them that sense of identity and that sense of purpose and the determination to go on despite maybe the hard circumstances that they're in today. They look back and understand from their ancestors a little bit more about who they are. And I think that's what's fueling that desire, honestly, to reconnect with the past and do our own family search and trace our lineage.
Absolutely. And in order to become a whole person and to step into authenticity, then you have to know who you are by your origins, right? And you can become inspired by what your ancestors did in the past and just even maybe motivate you to do more for the future. So it's a wonderful thing to have, and I'm really fortunate that you've been able to share this information with us, this wealth of information with us right now. So I just want to thank you for your time, Thom. And can you tell us again how people can contact you?
Yeah, absolutely. To get involved with this project, first of all, the project, the Freedmen's Bureau Project, is you can go to the website discoverfreedmen.org, discoverfreedmen.org. That's the website where you can go and learn more about what we're doing with transcribing these historical documents. You can click on a link to volunteer now, which shows you kind of gets you through the steps to get into the database to actually start looking at these records. That's the first place I would tell people to go. We're also on Facebook. If you search for the Freedmen's Bureau Project on Facebook, you'll find us there. And if any of your listeners have any questions or want to get involved in this, they can contact me personally as well. I'll provide my email, Thom, Thom, @FamilySearch.org. That's THOM at FamilySearch.org. They can email me. I'm happy to provide any other support that they're looking for or point them in the right directions. Now, like I said earlier on the program, I'm more of a marketer than a genealogist, and so I may have to point them to some directions. But I honestly, this project has slowly helped me become more of a genealogist. I mean, for me, myself, I've been able to trace my lineage right back to this era, and I'm looking forward to finding more information on my family in these records because I'm learning more about how, my people were hard workers, farmers at age 10 and janitors, for 40 years and things like that. I mean, it starts to help me understand more of who I am, and this is a meaningful project to me. So I'm willing to help whoever is willing to help out of your listeners and anyone who's interested in this project. They can go either through the website, discoverfreedmen.org, or they can email me directly, and I'd be happy to help them.
Fantastic. Thom, I want to thank you again for your time. We've learned a great deal. And if you just tuned in right now to the interview with Thom Reed, Senior Marketing Manager of Family Search International, you don't have to worry. We're going to be playing the interview throughout the month, Monday to Thursday, on wearehotline.net on the Nikki Clarke Radio Show, 11 a.m. to noon. So, Thom, thank you again. We wish you all the best, and I can't wait to do my own search right now to put the pieces together and connect all the dots of my family background. Thank you again.
You're welcome. Thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good day. Bye-bye now.
All right. Bye.
Bye.